Greetings and welcome to the RC Wallet Vacuum channel. Today's video I'm going to be doing a little modification and a test run on the OBR 47cc powered Rovan 450 XLT, I call Frankentruck. The video is going to be a little disconjointed because I did the modification several months ago, and at the time I had the tracks on, and I did take it up and test it with the track, but I didn't like the way it was running with the tracks on, so I just kind of abandoned the video at the time. And I just wanted to wait a little bit until I could get till the weather improves, so I could put the wheels on and test the modifications with the wheels. I'll go over in a future video what the issue is with the tracks. That will be, there's going to be quite a bit coming up on the tracks in the future. But in today's video, I'm going to put in the video clips from when I did the modifications. At the time, it had the tracks on it. And then after that's done, I'm going to be taking and today I'm going to load it up on Ranger and take it up to the track and do it with some wheel test on. So don't be deceived in the video. I allude to the tracks, of running it with the tracks in this video, but this will not be in this video. It's going to just be the wheels only. And like I said, the tracks will be coming in a future video. Greetings and welcome to the RC Wallet Vacuum channel. Today's video is going to be a little adventure with the Rovan 450 XLT Frankentruck. I'm going to do some gearing changes on it and then take it up to the track or up to the hill climb and see how it does on the hill climb. This thing, once I put the 47cc OBR in here, it's always been a little tall in the gearing. I kind of let it go when I had the Losi size wheels on there. It wasn't too bad. I held off because I wanted to see, I was planning on putting tracks on. I wanted to see what the tracks were going to do for the gearing, and didn't seem to really change it much. So I am going to gear it down a little bit, but I'm going to do a little different than what you normally would do it. I'm going to change the ring gear and not the pinion gear, and for reasons I will explain in a couple of minutes. So the other thing too is it only took me a year. Actually, it took me getting a new welder, but I got the roll cages now finally welded up, and it's good and solid now. I put some more bracing in there. The Kraken, probably the next video I'm going to do, the next planned video is going to be the roll cage for the Kraken. It's not going to be using diamond plating. I have real thin aluminum, but it will be using the aluminum bar for the structure. And I'm not sure why these companies don't offer at least an option for a metal roll cage, because these fish scales need some kind of protection. These plastic things just don't cut it. So anyhow, let me get this thing popped open here and go over why I'm changing the ring gear and not the pinion gear. So let me get the roll cage up and off of here. Surprisingly, all that welding, it didn't distort it. That's the marvel of high heat conductivity aluminum. So actually, let me get the camera repositioned here. So this OBR 47cc comes with a 26 tooth pinion in it, and I wanted to go down to a 25 tooth pinion, but OBR doesn't supply one, and I've not seen anyone else with them. There may be one out there, but I haven't seen it. This is like maybe a 15 millimeter shaft, I believe, and the Losi 5Ts, so the smaller Zenoas, I think that's an 8 millimeter shaft, so none of those will actually fit. So there's essentially two reasons why I'm doing the ring gear change. Number one is, like I said, I can't find a 25 tooth pinion to fit this, but more importantly is I don't really like going down in pinion sizes, just because now you're concentrating the load into a smaller number of teeth. Whether that's an issue or not, I don't know. So the Rovan 450 XLT is basically a 5T 1.0 clone, and they run a 58 tooth ring gear at the center differential. So there's a fair amount of difference in diameter between these two, so I definitely have to make some clearance for it. So when I put this thing together, I use one of those FLM split center differentials. Allows you to pop the thing up and out of there without pulling all the posts and stuff up and out of there. But when I was doing it, I decided to actually stick with the Rovan top plate, only because versus using the FLM top plate, only because the Rovan had bearings in here on these brake posts, and that seemed to make it a lot better idea. So I got the gear on there now and set down in the center differential, and everything clears fine on there. So it looks like it's only going to probably just be the top I gotta make clearance for. Yeah, there ain't a whole lot I gotta make room for. That's pushed down on there. It definitely binds a little bit. Pull up, just let off of it. It clears. There's only gotta be a few thousandths taken off of that. So let's go over to the mill and get that cleaned off. So you can see the shiny marks there where the anodizing got taken off from the gear as I was just spinning it by hand. I put a little pressure on there. So that's why I'll get in there and I'll knock that off. So the only place I've seen any interference is on its very edges. I'm just going to rig it up like this and just use a regular 2-fluted straight cutter and knock them corners down. So there it's machined out. All I got to do is just put that notch on that side and another one on that side there. So let me go put this in together and go from there. So it's back assembled. And before I had a 26 tooth pinion and a 58 tooth ring, I was running a 19.5 insert. And I believe that insert was actually meant for the 5T 2.0 because I'm pretty certain it came right from Losi. Now I got some inserts that I've got from DDM that I suspect may be meant for the 5T 1.0, which I'm guessing there's probably going to be a difference in the specs because even though the bag says 19, that's why I ordered was 19s, they're actually labeled 20s. But if you look at them to a 5T 2.0 20, they look nothing like each other. But the bottom line is you got to end up with a spacer that has the hole pretty much in the middle of the insert, and that'll pretty much get you there. Right now, the mesh is pretty good on this. Maybe a slight bit tighter than what I'd like to have it at, but it flows freely. Then when you put the paper in there and start pulling on it, you can feel it bind up. It starts to hang a little bit. So there's definitely not a lot of space in there, but it does freely spin otherwise. So I mean, I want it tight, maybe a little tighter than what I want it to be, but I'm going to let this go for now and see how it goes. I don't have any other inserts to even try, and I'm not sure where I would go after this one. It's got to be. These inserts, like I said, the hole is just about center, but not quite. So I think I need one that's basically centered. I don't know, without getting more inserts, what they would even be. But the fact that it flows real freely like this, and only starts to bind when I put in a piece of paper and it's only a couple thousandths. I mean, to me, I think that's probably going to be pretty good. So I'm going to finish putting this thing back together and load it up in the four-wheeler trailer, and we'll head up to the hill climb site. Stick around. So as promised, we're up here on the track now, and now I'll give it a test run with the wheels on versus the tracks. Like I alluded to earlier, the tracks were giving me some problems with derailing, and due to toe-in issues on the hinge pin braces. So I'm going to be covering that more in the future. I'm in the design stages of a 5T clone, 5T 2.0 clone. It's going to be all tube chassis with a roll cage integrated. It's going to be a dedicated quad track snowcat. And so I'll go over more on the tracks and that in the future. But in the meantime, let's take a quick look at the track up here. So I have expanded it out quite a bit since last year. Added some more jumps, pushed into some farther corners, more berms, put up some more dirt, and we'll give this a try for this year. So let me get this thing fired up and see how it runs. Well, it's still a top-end vehicle. Must be that pipe. Yeah, survived that roll. At least the hinge pin braces worked. I think I got it definitely running a little too rich. The throttle's running way too high. Oh, there goes a wheel. I think we're done for today. So I got it back down here in the shop now, and going to assess today's carnage. One of my basic premises with this YouTube channel is to show the trials and tribulations of developing new parts for these RCs and new setups, be it mechanical or electronic or fabricated, whatever the case may be. So there's always going to be successes and failures, and I like to show both the successes and the failures. And today it was mostly a success with some failure. Obviously the tires came off, but these are my old 5T 2.0 tires. Back here, the hinge pin brace held up real well in that cartwheel. I don't know if the camera picked that cartwheel up that well, but it was a hard cartwheel. You can see what the carnage over here has occurred. I did make new turnbuckles for this, but I've not installed them yet. These are still the stock Rovans, and I'm just waiting to anodize my ones I originally made for this out of the much heavier material. But these just backed off, so that's why it's got that pitch on there bad. And this hinge pin brace held up good, but one of my screws had backed off, and there was no bending on this, but up here on the front, this is still a stock one that bent, so I'm probably have to make beefier ones for the inside there. And I want to make longer hinge pin braces to make sure the pin comes all the way out through, because this is a thicker material than the stock ones. So the gearing change did seem to help the vehicle a little bit, but it's definitely a top end. I don't know if it's just a pipe or supporting and a pipe, but I really like this OBR engine. It's got a lot of potential to really run hard. I just got to find out where that power band is and then tailor this vehicle to work with that setup. So this truck will probably go more of a straight line runner than a track truck, just because it's tough to the power band just doesn't give you the snap coming out of the corners like you need. So I'm going to get different wheels on it, and then I want to replace this whole steering mechanism up here. This is all sloppy up here. This definitely needs to be redone, beefed up. And I got to get my shit together and get the anodizing going so I can get those new turnbuckles put in place. For sure it needs to be leaned out. I'm not really big with leaning them out. I like to run them a little rich. I don't care if they're a little doggy, a little smoky. I'm more about engine longevity than I am ultimate performance for just playing around here. So it does need to be done. I may or may not do it. It might help the tractability a little bit on it, but so I'm going to go through and do a couple more upgrades to it, and then give it another run and see how those upgrades hold out. Another thing that occurred too on the back here during the cartwheel is once again these plastic Losi 5T 2.0 wheels split and melted off a little bit when I was running it. I'm sure it split when I crashed, and that got slipping in there because I went to grab the thing when I was first stopped and it was blitzing hot. So until the next video, thanks for watching.